I've always loved winter, ever since I was a little kid. In the winter, the nights grow long, the earth slows down, even the sky dulls in color. The world stops for a short few months and takes a breath. I wish it could always be this way. I wish I could live in a world this calm, in a place so cold, forever. A few days ago, December 21st, was the winter solstice. It was the longest night of the entire year. From here on out, the days will only grow longer, the moon will wane, and the sun will be back, more furious than the year before. I grew up near the panhandle of Texas. We used to have scissor-tailed birds fly above the cotton fields. They're all gone now. I used to see pronghorns every now and then, see them dance in the playas. They don't dance anymore. There are no more playas to find. So yes, I like winter, I like the night, I like the cold. Sometimes it helps me forget how much has changed, that so much has died. Because in winter, you can't tell that anything was ever living. I finally did it. I tore down the mountain that used to be here. It took way too long. And I've also started to work on the tundra a little bit around here. I've imported some predators, which has gone badly, but I do have a group of rabbits here. And I want to try and keep breeding them to keep this place feel a little bit more alive. Oh, here's the hot spring. Now, I did have an issue with this, and if anyone knows the solution, please tell me. Because this is a frozen biome, the water keeps freezing, and I don't want to add light to stop it from freezing because I like the effect of it being dark. So as a temporary solution, I put glass way up top to stop it from being exposed to the sky. I couldn't get away with just putting string. It wouldn't work. So if anyone has any ideas on how to stop this from freezing in a less invasive way than the glass, let me know. This is the site I want to work on today. I want to take this entire area and flatten it out and make it just one big snowy field. Or, well, I'll show you later as to why that is, but I've also planned to extend the glacier all the way out here. I want it to go all the way to the other end. You can see here's kind of a plan of where I want the glacier to go. It starts over there, and I want it to stretch all the way around here, where I put the packed ice. And down here, this entire area is what I want to flatten out and turn into snow. I'm not sure how far out I want to take it, if I need to tear this mountain down as well. But yeah, that's the plan. I want to have a giant blank canvas, hundreds of meters long, and it's going to be a ton of work, but I wanted to make this painting for the tundra. This painting is a work by Stålenhag. A lot of his other work is more remarkable, maybe, more visually interesting, but this is the one I keep thinking about, keep coming back to. I have a lot of questions about this building. Why does a power plant have a giant communication towers? And why such a seemingly small generator? Surely there's something under the snow there, but if so, why would it be covered in ice? And why else, how else, could an area be so flat, so monotonous, without human assistance? Looking at this painting makes me feel lonely, but a good kind of lonely. The kind of lonely you are after a long day of work, and you can't muster the energy to be around another person, let alone talk to them. It makes me feel calm, and sad, and hopeful. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I want this wonderful painting to live here in this world, and I don't know, I want to live in that painting. Maybe it's like practice. Practice for when I make my own paintings. I'm also getting really sick of hell. Like, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but having to make every individual tree, it's driving me crazy. And I don't want to use Lightmatica Not because I think it's too cheaty or anything, but because I find it very difficult to use, and honestly, it's not really that helpful. I spend less time making trees individually instead of using Lightmatica, but I know that's because I'm just not good at it enough. I do like this courtyard, though. I think it came out well. This is, future stuff. We'll get back to that in another episode. I have a basalt generator to gather all the basalt I want to use for this, but all of the snow, in my data pack, I can reverse craft ice back into snow. So that's kind of where I'm planning to get it, are from the glaciers down there. I'll just mine them out and try to obtain the materials that way. Or just mine up all the ice that's already there and use that instead. But we'll see. Anytime I want to do something and I don't quite know what I want it to look like yet, I just leave a sign up. I want this to be an ice cave, the kind that you get in glaciers, where there's really dark blue ice surrounding them. I really want to do that, but I don't know how I'm going to tackle that project yet. There are just a lot of little details I want to implement. Like this hot spring, it doesn't serve a purpose, but I like that it has a little detail, and it gives a little bit more character to the whole tundra in general. Like, why is there so much snow, or at least there plans to be so much snow over there, but not any here? I thought maybe it's geothermically active, and maybe that's why the generator's there in the first place. Little things like that. These are the things I want to think about. But that's enough planning. I'm gonna go ahead and just jazz it and see what happens. And, yeah. I hope this doesn't take too long. The other day, I was feeling sad. Or, not quite sad. That sweet sick feeling. Like nostalgia and tainted red wine. So I did what I always do when I feel red wine. I watched a sad gay movie. This guy, Danny, he has AIDS. The movie follows him as his body decays, over the course of a year, going from a person to what a generation of us ended up as. Not quite human. A living corpse. Until there is no life left. Just flesh. When I was young, my uncle, my Theo, died from AIDS. I watched him decay over a few short years. He went from a living, real person to that thing. The thing I saw in that movie. The thing I watched die in front of me. I think back on a generation of us, of people like me, who were ignored and pushed away, dying in the streets. It feels like nowadays, no one even remembers that. Remembers what happened to us. No one can see that it's happening again. And I'm fucking terrified. I see what they've done to our allies, I see what they're doing to us, and I want to scream. I can't believe so many of us, so many people like me, pretend like it won't happen to them. Pretend like if they just act normal enough, if they just talk like a normal guy, if they just act like a good gay, they'll be protected. Of course they won't. We never will be. I don't want to believe it's true, but at times like this, I feel as though our only hope to ever live real lives is to live away from them. The only solution is liberation. That there can never be assimilation, that the thought is a pipe dream, and they will never want people like us to exist. It's winter now. It's only December. The worst is yet to come, but all I can think about is this stupid painting. I just want to be there. I want to live in the world Seaman made. It just looks so peaceful. I want to forget about what's happening, pretend like it isn't real. But the longer I pretend, the longer I look away, the worse it will get. My family, they wear red hats now. It's really scary, hearing them talk about people like me. Like I'm not in the room, like I can't hear what they're saying. I've tried. I've tried so many times, but they don't care. They don't care, and I've given up with them. It's like they don't remember what happened to Theo. It's like they didn't watch him die with me. I still taste the red wine from his funeral. Danny sits on the porch with his mother, and they open up in a way they've never done before.
What else do you like?
I don't know. I guess I like all the ordinary things. You know what I like.
No, I don't.
I like my floribunda over there. Now, change the subject.
Just name one more thing you like.
Why? Why do you want to know?
I'm just interested.
Oh, God, Danny, there's nothing interesting about me.
I think you're anything but average. What's wrong?
It's been a long time since anyone has complimented me.
For the first time, they're honest and real and vulnerable. It makes you so happy, so proud of them for doing something so difficult. And then the scene cuts away, and you get another title card. Another month gone, another month closer. I kept thinking, no, surely time hasn't passed this quickly. Each month is shorter than the last, and winter keeps getting closer. Jesus Christ, winter keeps getting closer. I've read enough books, I've seen enough movies to know what winter means. But I kept telling myself, maybe he won't. Maybe a miracle will happen. I kept watching. I kept watching even though I knew what would happen. I saw Danny, emaciated, lying on a bed. I could only see my uncle there. Why then? Why do I put myself through this? Why would I revel in that heartbreak? Because somehow, at the end of it, I feel lighter. Danny took all the shit I've been dealing with, my uncle, my fear, my hopelessness. He took it away from me. Made me hope for a better ending. Made me hope that it'll turn out differently. That's the paradox of catharsis. That in spite of the indulgence of the worst feelings you could imagine, we still come out the other side better for it. I wish my Theo was still alive. I wish I could have had Christmas with him and his husband. I wish I could have been there for them. Half the family didn't even come to the funeral. They said it was his fault. I was supposed to have an uncle to guide me, to show me how to be myself and live a happy life. But I was too young and too scared. I had to figure all that stuff out on my own. I miss him. When I see this painting, I feel all of those strange feelings. I see my Theo in the snow. I just really connect with it in that way, and I know Simon didn't intend for this to be true. He, of course, was making a pretty painting for world building his thing, and he didn't mean for it to be some profound reflection of a mentor past, but that's why art is so cool, man. It's important. It's important to consume and make art. It's good for your soul. Good for your brain. Why do I see my Theo in a valley of snow? Why do I feel like he's in that painting somewhere? If I could just step into that place, everything would be better. Närke-Väst. It sounds familiar, looks familiar, but I didn't know what it meant. The funny thing about Germanic languages, they're all close enough to each other to recognize things like that, but in practice, each one sounds like a mockery of the other. Dutch will never be Dutch to me, it will always be messed up German, despite my namesake. When I read the translation, I felt stupid. I should have gotten it. Near West Energy. West is strange, but it's obvious in hindsight. It's a cognate. West, West, The German is closer. Westen. But Närke, that one was harder. Near. My first thought was Nächte, same umlaut, vaguely close phonemes, but of course, Nähe would be more correct. What's funny is, looking at these words, seeing how close they are and how we can all tell they feel related, you know, of course they are. We tend to think of evolution as a biological process, a force that affects the living, the near living, flesh and protein, blood and tissues. The truth, of course, is that evolution is a property of the universe. It touches everything, including words. Navis Vestras. Those are the hypothesized words of the theoretical Proto-Germanic language, the last common ancestor for Swedish, German, and English. From there, they split and developed small changes over many periods until they separated and became unintelligible between different peoples. Närke, Naha, Near. People think science is dumb. Dude, everything becomes more interesting the more you learn about it. Even the word near. Well, anyways, I thought that was neat, and it has nothing to do with anything. I'm going to go over a little tour, and then I want to go over channel plans, Q&A stuff, the works. So, Hell, Limbo, is supposed to be the place where my memories of loss and sorrow go. The overworld was never for this. It's for world building and having living places and living people. But I think there's a difference here. In my memories with Närke-Väst and the memories of my old university, Närke-Väst is about mourning, yes, and I do think it's fitting that Limbo leaks into here, but Närke-Väst has hope. There is something to look forward to here, that the future will be better than the present, that it will change and grow and breathe. Limbo, my old university, is not that. Those memories are not things that can change. That place, that time, is not something I can go back to. Hell is about looking back at the places we've been. Earth is about looking at what can change. And I like that. Alright guys, so I gotta be honest. I did not finish. This took a lot of time, more time than I thought it would, and I did not have the materials to continue, nor the time to continue. I wanted to get this out on the solstice. I don't think that's going to happen. But it looks really cool so far. I'm really happy with it. I think actually that the area that I really need is so large that my render distance couldn't cover it, and distance horizons makes things look strange from a distance, so I don't think that was really an option either. To give you an idea of what I did, here is the first tower pylon thing, and here is the second. As you can see, it's less detailed, but also significantly smaller. And of course the last one, which is even smaller than that. I had to do some forced perspective to make it look like it was further away than it really was. And I do think the illusion works. Like, seeing it back here, it actually doesn't look that bad. I do want to go in and texture things, as I've done a little bit here. This build was really challenging for me because the scale was so small. I wasn't really able to do wild colors like I normally am able to, or details. I really wanted to have Närke-Väst here on the building itself, but it didn't work out. And this house I'm very not happy with. I put honey and stuff inside to make it look orange, but I am going to have to get back to that and make it livable. I was thinking a priest could live here. The village over there, I imagine that they would make pilgrimages to this site, to this ancient monolith, and that they would have a priest stationed here to connect them with whatever deity used to live here. Probably the god of the Tundra. They probably ascribe this place to her, even though I don't think that's true. As I was making this area, I was thinking about a creator I like. His name is Dialco, and in his little world, he puts Easter eggs around. And as I was making this, I thought that would be a really fun thing to do here. So this is like my first hint, I guess. that somewhere here I'm going to hide a little Easter egg, and I'll figure it out. So maybe in the future, when there's a world download and you all can explore it, there'll be a little game for you to play. Oh, my shame. Yes, yes, yes. It's horrible back here. Well, the illusion works great from that one spot. It doesn't work great from here. The fog really gives it away. Normally, as things get further away from you, the atmosphere gets in the way and generates this sort of atmospheric fog. But in this case, we can see that the atmospheric fog is in the wrong direction, which makes it very obvious that this is actually much shorter than this. And I'm not sure what to do about that. I thought in the future I could just keep expanding this and eventually make this the same size just further back, but like I said, there is a genuine technical limitation to that. If I wanted to make it this size and have it be this far, it would have to go back quite a distance, to the point where the game couldn't actually render the chunk, and then you wouldn't get the effect at all. And perhaps due to that one reason, I won't actually continue working out here, or at least in this direction. Maybe I'll have to develop it further that way or something else. All of my portals I've decided to keep kind of underground. This is the exception because of my guy. Where is he? There he is. My little happy ghast. I had to fit him through the portal and I couldn't stuff it down here. But eventually I want to move the portal down once he gets back inside and have the ice cave lead up to it. I thought that would be a kind of unique way for me to connect it. As you all know, a lot of the underworld kind of ideas from around the world are linked to the underground. For some reason, death and the ground, they're very closely linked. So I wanted to have any entrances to the underworld be through kind of chthonic passages. And in this case, I thought it would be fun to have an ice cave lead to it. I think that's everything. Everything I wanted to talk about for the build, I mean. Now, I guess it's time to address the elephant in the room. Where's Achilles? I went from 12 subscribers to 10,000 over the course of a week. And it's not overwhelming, I promise. It's fine. But, yeah, I'm kind of wrapping my head around what to do about it. Not like it's a bad thing, but I don't know. I want to be more involved with the people who are here. And I want you all to feel like this is a community. Somewhere where you can put your thoughts down and I'll actually read them. Because believe it or not, I am interested. The last video I made, there was a lot of really good discussion and good criticism. I really appreciated it. For example, a lot of people had an issue with the mushroom farm, and at first I didn't understand why, until I read their arguments and realized that they were completely right. I find that kind of revelatory. It's a fun experience for me. I've always enjoyed the process of making something and taking the criticism to make it better. I don't know if everyone's like that, but I really do enjoy it. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate it more when people have been so kind about it. But it is a tradition on YouTube to... oh no. Okay. It is a tradition on YouTube to celebrate milestones with Q&As, and I thought it might be fun to do that. I imagine this will be different from my normal video, so to embrace the difference, I was going to play like a different game or something, or at least the possibility of it. I can either continue playing on this world and just do some grindy things. I can play beta, or I can show you all my vintage story world that I recently started. I'll probably pick whatever is most liked in the comments, and oh, if you have a question, please just ask it down below and I'll collect them for the video. I can't promise that will be the next video, but it will be in like the next 2 or 3. And to make things easier for me, if you could format the Q&A questions like as I'm showing now, that would be very much appreciated. As for channel plans and future videos, the next video will probably be the Q&A video or a Designing a God. I spent a lot of time working on this new illustration and I want to share the process behind making it. And I plan for the format to be very different from the last Designing a God video. More vloggy, maybe. I'm very proud of her and I can't wait to talk more about her. She is, of course, the god of this area. But that's for later. Finally, I had a couple of ecology videos I wanted to make. I'm still in the process of figuring out what these, like, what they would be specifically. But there's a lot I didn't get to talk about in the first one that I really want to mention. I have many video ideas and very little time, and worse than that, very little energy. My job takes a lot from me. I'd like to hear all your thoughts about this, though. I mean, like, oh my god. Really? No! I'd like to hear all your thoughts about this. I mean, about Närke-Väst. I feel as though in the Gloaming and Närke-Väst are very different from each other, but somehow my brain connects them to be very similar. And I don't know, I was wondering if anyone else has those strange connections, paintings, books, works of art that make you see someone you love. Not something that just, like, reminds you of them, but like they really live in that place, now that they aren't here anymore. Like they're still alive, just somewhere else. I know my brain works quite differently from other people. I have a diagnosis to prove it, but I can't help but feel like there are, like, these universal truths that all of us share, but things we don't really talk about with each other. And I wonder if that's one of them. I think I've spent enough time talking here. Well, dear viewers, I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye!